So for the first, I'll just step back a bit, just about the forest. So the forest is 120 hectares, so that's my part of what I call the forest. But it also, ecologically, also includes 20 hectares right there, which is the neighbours. And then it's also joined to a bit of the Nelson Forest or whatever, 141 they call themselves now, yeah. So it's also they've got a bit of sort of wetland kind of forest further up that connects onto this. So, but we're in the middle, we're surrounded by farmland, as you saw, pine forest mainly, and a little bit of dockland, which is big bush. So that's our wee kind of island in the middle of all the rest of it.
How long have you had the sustained yield permit?
So yeah, that's just what I was going to get onto. So essentially, for most of the time that I've had it, I've operated on what I call the minor provisions of the Act. So the minor provisions, so you've got the Forest Amendment Act or the Forest Act that we actually have to operate under. So there's rules and regulations within that Act. So the main thing, I guess the ultimate thing you kind of want in some ways, that's what they promote anyway, is a management plan. So you have a management plan over your forest for a minimum of 50 years, and you do sample plots within that forest to work out what your standing volume is. So then there's ways of working out what your growth rates are and all that kind of stuff, and you end up with the sustained yield. So a sustained yield that currently I have, well, I won't talk about that actually now. Up until, so that's that, and then you can kind of get a permit as well, so you can sort of a lesser provision in a way, and that, say if you just wanted to take out 500 cube, I think you can take out 500 cube or 10% of your standing volume over a 10-year period, whichever is the least. So here, if I wanted to do that, I could take out 500 cube, and then I'd have a permit to take out 500 cube, but that's quite a bit less than what my sustained yield actually is. So I never went down that path. So the path I took was the path which is these minor provisions. So if you mainly tracking and dead wood. So if I wanted to put in a track, I could get a permit to actually fill those trees, harvest those trees, and mill those trees. If I wanted to, if there was dead wood, that's handy. So there's dead trees that are handy to the track, and I think I've got 7.5 k's of track, so I've got a reasonable amount that I can actually fill to, and that's what I was doing for most of the life of the forest, and mainly I was supplying to friends and family and just people I know. So I wasn't selling, I wasn't really developing, that was my market, friends and family. But then when you live here long enough, you sort of end up, and you live long enough, you end up, your family gets bigger, and you marry a couple of times, it's even bigger. And then, so that's quite a number of people that I was supplying timber to,